Okay, so I just woke up, and I'm pretty fucking angry. So let's talk about it. Donald J. Trump announced that the United States was gonna pull out of the Paris Climate Accord, and this is a very fucking big thing. Um, let's see. For me, politics is all about priorities. So, if you lean towards the left, you prioritize equality over maybe freedoms. You like both, but that are your priorities. You lean towards the right, maybe you want more freedoms, and then equality is something you want to achieve, but you don't think that the government should push for that, etc., etc. Both are fine. It's all okay. I'm okay even if you're like a fascist or like a hardcore communist. I'm okay with you. That is your opinion, and if I have a different opinion, my job is to convince you or to convince the majority that my opinion is better. Like, democracy kind of made that into a thing. We can't really claim that one thing is the right answer. We kind of have to debate it. And that's really good. And all opinions are good. Whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican or a conservative or a liberal, I don't care. You're okay. In my eyes, you're good, The pinnacle of being civilized and being advanced, I would claim, is when 200 countries from around the world get together in a beautiful city like Paris, and they decide, we all have to agree on protecting the environment, because it's the one thing that transcends political views, Like, we want Earth to be nice, we want to conserve the planet, we don't want the ice caps to melt. It's kind of obvious. You might be a conservative, you might be a liberal, you like the planet, you live in the planet, so you want it to be nice. Yeah? So for me, the pinnacle of this process of advancement is when 200 nations sit at a table, get together, define certain objectives, all agree on, what they're gonna do to help everyone in the world have a better life and, maintain a nice earth. And they all get together, 200 nations. Imagine, like, how hard is that? That's so amazing that we all got together and agreed. And then fucking Donald Trump says he's pulling out, and he makes it about money? Ugh. Like, oh. Like, it's the one thing we can all agree on. It's like, we live on planet Earth, so let's take care of planet Earth. It's so simple. But for some reason, which I don't quite comprehend, the President of the United States has decided that the US is going to pull out of that agreement, joining the only other two countries that haven't signed it, which is Syria, who have been in a civil war for 6 years now, and Nicaragua, who haven't signed it because they think it's too liberal. It's not strict enough with the big polluters. And let me be very clear about this. Let me be very clear. It's not the conservatives. There are conservatives that, agree that climate change is a thing, that we should try to fight it. It's not the ideology of being a conservative or being on the right wing that makes you a fucking dick. No. It's this buffoon. Is this lunatic that for some reason is the President of the United States that has decided to pull, like, the biggest industrial nation out of such an amazing feat of human endeavor. And it's just so unfair. I think it's so unfair that one lunatic, like a guy that fucking tweets kaffa at 2 a.m. in the morning, someone who abuses women, is allowed to make such a big decision that's gonna affect me in the UK or in Spain. It's gonna affect you wherever the fuck you are in the world. It's so unfair, and it's such a... It makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. So I guess my argument is the Paris Climate Accords are pretty fucking safe, We're talking a big achievement for humanity, I think. And then this fucking lunatic just decides, that he's not going to follow them, taking one of the biggest nations out. And that's crazy and stupid. And I'm very happy that basically everyone else in who signed this accord said, fuck Donald Trump, we're gonna follow them anyway. China said they'll commit to it. China's a dictatorship. China's like a communist dictator. And they said, they're okay with it. India is gonna follow suit. I'm just very happy that this is not about being on the right wing or about being an industrial nation, but this is a lunatic deciding he's gonna do a completely crazy thing. And I hope we can all identify that. I hope I can still breathe, clean air in 20 years' time. Until then, please share this with your Donald Trump supporter friends. Let's hear their argument. Let's have a conversation down below in the comments or on Facebook or wherever I put this about this. Let's talk about it, because I still believe that all views are okay. So let's have a conversation about this. So share this with, your conservative, your Donald Trump, your Democrat friends. Share it with people so we can talk about this. Okay? Alright. Rant done. Yay!